If Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan somehow existed inside the same player, he would have looked a lot like Pete Maravich. But most people today only know the nickname Pistol Pete. They have seen a few wild clips, a no-look pass here, a deep jumper there, but very few understand that this man might be the most naturally gifted guard ever. Long before modern highlight tapes, long before the three-point line, long before guards had freedom, there was a skinny kid doing things nobody imagined. This isn't just a story about points or records, it's about a man who breathed basketball until it nearly broke him, and who left behind a blueprint today's stars still copy without knowing where it came from. Before the world knew Pistol Pete, there was a boy named Pete, and a father known as Press. Press Maravich loved basketball more deeply than most men ever have. He played in college, in early pro leagues, and even signed with the Pittsburgh Ironmen in the first season of what became the NBA. When the team folded, so did his dream, and he poured everything into his son. Pete was dribbling at 3, playing organized ball at 7, and telling his father he wanted to be the best. Press turned their house into a training ground. Pete slept with a basketball, rode his bike while dribbling, dribbled out the car window, and brought the ball to the movies. This was not practice, this was immersion. Pete wasn't just learning basketball, he was living with it as if it were part of him. As a teenager, Pete began doing things grown men couldn't comprehend. At Clemson practices, he beat college players in shooting contests. Pros stopped to stare at his ball handling. Bob Cousy once watched him and yelled, "Who is that kid?" Pete played varsity at 12. Fans laughed until he blew past defenders. At 16, after Press joined NC State, Pete developed the hip-level shot that created his nickname. Lacking strength, he shot from his hip like a gunslinger. Someone saw it and called him Pistol Pete, and the name stuck for life. After high school, every major college wanted him. At 6 feet 5 inches, he was thin but unguardable, averaging over 30 in prep school. But his father took the LSU job and pressured him to join, and Pete agreed once Press bought him a car. Freshmen couldn't play varsity, so Pete played on the freshman team and immediately became a phenomenon, dropping 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists in his first game. When he joined varsity, he became a national star. He averaged 43, 44, and 44 points per season without a three-point line, without a shot clock. Analysts estimate he would have averaged 57 with modern rules. LSU never made deep runs, but the show was everything. His career total of 3,667 points in 3 seasons still stands untouched. In 1970, the Atlanta Hawks drafted him 3rd overall and gave him a massive $2 million contract, far above most players. Teammates resented it. They saw a flashy kid with long hair and a big paycheck. Pete couldn't win. If he bought dinner, he was a show-off. If not, he was cheap. On the court, the clash was worse. Pistol Pete played with imagination, passing into windows others couldn't see, dribbling into angles nobody understood. Sometimes the ball hit teammates in the head, sometimes it sailed out of bounds. Fans loved it, but teammates wanted wins. In college, the question was, how much did Pete score? In Atlanta, it was, did the Hawks win? Too often, the answer was no. In his first year, Pete scored over 23 per game, but critics called him selfish. In year 2, he tried to change shooting less, passing more, but illness caused weight loss and the Hawks still didn't win. Criticism grew. In year 3, he returned to being himself, scoring over 26 with nearly 7 assists, making all-star level impact and earning an all-league honor. Still, the Hawks didn't break through. In year 4, he scored almost 28, but the team missed the playoffs. Everyone realized Pete needed a new environment to breathe again. Pete got his chance when the New Orleans Jazz traded for him. The city adored him immediately, but tragedy struck when his mother took her own life in 1974, devastating him. He questioned everything but continued chasing the championship dream. The Jazz lacked talent, so he carried the load. He averaged around 26, then led the league with 31 per game in 1977, including his legendary 68-point game against the Knicks and Walt Frazier, all without a three-point line. Yet the Jazz kept missing the postseason. In 1978, Pete played brilliant basketball, averaging 27 and 7 until a major knee injury ended his season. The Jazz crumbled without him. The next year, He injured his other knee and missed over 30 games. His mobility was never the same. The franchise moved to Utah, and a new coach benched him due to inconsistent practice availability. Rising star Adrian Dantley took over, and the Jazz released Pete in 1980. The Boston Celtics signed him, hoping he'd help their young core led by Larry Bird. With the new three-point line, Pete shot incredibly well, making 2/3 of his attempts, but injuries limited him. He finally won a playoff series, but retired at 32, the same age his father was when his career ended. Retirement brought no peace. The Celtics won the title the year after he left, and it broke him. The dream happened without him. He spiraled into depression and alcoholism before rediscovering faith and rebuilding his life. In 1987, he entered the Hall of Fame. A year later, he collapsed and died during a casual game. His last words were, "I feel great." His autopsy revealed he had no left coronary artery, meaning his heart had worked impossibly hard his entire life. Eerily, he once said he didn't want to play 10 years and die by 40 from a heart problem, and that's almost exactly how it happened. Even fans who don't know Pete's name watch his influence every day. LaMelo Ball's underhand full-court passes, that's Pete. Behind-the-back fakes into opposite direction passes, Pete. Dribbling through traffic with impossible rhythm, Pete. Magic Johnson popularized Showtime, but Pete did it first. Kobe tossing the ball off the glass to himself, Rondo's fake passes, guards pulling up from deep, all of it traces back to him. In his era, guards weren't supposed to lead offenses, they were supposed to feed big men. Pete reinvented the guard position decades before the league understood it. If you judge by rings, Pete won't appear on GOAT lists. If you judge by efficiency, he played in an era with no spacing, no threes, and brutal defense. But talent isn't just numbers, it's creation, imagination, timing, control, and vision. Pete could score from anywhere, pass from anywhere, dribble out of traps, and turn possessions into works of art. He didn't always have the system or teammates to maximize his gifts, but in raw talent, few guards ever matched him. The story of Pistol Pete Maravich is brilliant and tragic. A boy who slept with a basketball became a man who redefined guards forever, yet never captured the dream he chased. He carried the weight of a demanding father, a hurting family, immense expectations, and a hidden fatal flaw. He dazzled crowds, changed the position, and left a legacy still visible in every creative guard today. The off-the-dribble jumper, the behind-the-back pass, the fearless attack all trace back to him. With a three-point line, he might have averaged 30+ for his career. On the right team, he might have won multiple titles. Instead, he left a blueprint decades ahead of its time. The next time you see a highlight and think, "No one has done that," remember Pistol Pete probably did it first in a dusty gym long ago. Thank you for watching. If you want more stories about the legends who shaped the modern game, another video is waiting for you. If you're already subscribed, thank you, have an amazing day, and peace.